Shalom. Kahalayim la Yahweh. Bahasham Yahweh Shai. Bahasham Rachakwadash. All praises to Yahweh in the name Yahweh Shai, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who still rule and teach well. And peace and blessings and safety unto the Lord's elect. And I'm not sure what I'm going to title this lesson. Um, but we have to detach from this world completely. And we have to learn to be selfless because we're a part of a body. Okay. The finger is not independent of the hand. The elbow is not independent of the leg. All of these members, they all work together. They all work together. And this truth is the same way. It's the same way. When one member suffers, all the members suffer. And I think I'll start with that. I think that's Romans 12. No. 1 Corinthians 12. I got a couple scriptures queued up and I want to read them. And Lord willing, this will be edifying. Because a lot of times, brothers, and I'm speaking to myself first and foremost because we all in the flesh. But it's not every day that you have to sacrifice for the brotherhood. It's upon occasion. And so when those opportunities arise, you should rise to the occasion. Okay, it's not like every single day somebody's asking you, to give them a ride somewhere or to hold $20 or to, borrow your car or to borrow your equipment. It's not every day. It's not like it's a burden unto you where it's an everyday thing or it's your responsibility. It's upon occasion. And brothers have to be selfless enough and have the mindset of, well, I'm a part of this body, and when one member is suffering, when one member has an issue, when one member has a need, that becomes my need. It becomes my responsibility in a way, even though that's a strong word, but at the same time, what did the Lord say? It says here in 1 Corinthians 12 and 26, it says, and whether one member suffer, all the members suffer with it. So one brother has an issue, all the members have an issue. And I don't know, I'm going to just say this. Your wife and your children, they're not a part of the body. They're a part of your house, but you are a part of the body. Okay? And we know what the Lord said about if any man hate not mother or sister or wife or brother or lands. A lot of men, they got paid off of their land. They would grow stuff on their land, they would have cattle on their land, and that's how they would make their livelihood. But the Lord said, if you put that before me, you're going off. You cannot be my disciple. Your woman, whatever she got going on, your children, whatever they got going on, all of that is supposed to go on the back burner for what the brotherhood got going on, because you are a part of the brotherhood, because you are a member of that body. It says in 1 Corinthians 12 and 26, and whether one member suffer, all the members suffer with it. One member got an issue, you got an issue too. One member got a dilemma, you got a dilemma too. Or one member be honored, all the members rejoice with it. Right. When a brother is doing good, when a brother is up, he's gonna break bread with the brothers. I've seen it. I've seen brothers break bread with brothers. I've seen brothers give, when one brother has an opportunity, he extends the opportunity to another brother. So how much more when a brother has an issue, or when a brother's down, or when a brother need a favor, and you got 20 other, members of that body, and all 20 can't fulfill the favor. We have to learn to be selfless. 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 How I said, let a man deny himself and pick up his cross and follow me. Okay? Deny yourself. Deny your flesh. Fuck all this material shit, man. Fuck these cars. Fuck these clothes. These shoes. These, all this stuff is perishable. All this stuff is replaceable. and it has been replaced. You know, it has been replaced. And you may say, well, you could. It's easy for you to say that because it's not yours, but you don't know what men have lost in this truth. You don't know what men have had and what the Lord have taken away. You know, and time again, I'm seeing that it's always the elder brothers that's willing to go above and beyond, but the younger brothers are still stuck on silly. It's still stuck on carnality, still stuck in the flesh. But time and time again, it's elder brothers that's making the sacrifice and going the extra mile and doing this or doing that, or it's a fresh brother, a brother that just start coming around that's going above and beyond. And we cannot grow complacent, okay, in taking care of one another, okay, because we're here for one another. All that selfish shit, that's a female trait, okay? That's a female trait, as we know. Women are selfish. So you would expect a woman to react a certain way when you ask to take control of her shit, of what she views as her shit, because if she your woman, then that's your shit anyway. But these women ain't right in the head. But we have to be right in the head. Okay, we have to learn to be selfless. So this is the etymology of selfless. It says, having no regard to self, devoted to others, welfare or interest, and not one's own. It's not about your interest. No, it might not be in your best interest to do this or that. But so what? The truth is not about that. The truth is about being selfless. Selfless. You're devoted to the interests of others. You're devoted to the interests of the body. Whatever the body needs to function properly, you're devoted to that. You know. But if you got your mind made up that you're gonna do this and or move this way, and that's what you're gonna do. But you're not supposed to have that mindset. You're supposed to be able to move with the body. You know, if your mind is telling your legs to run and they don't run, you might be fucked up. Here it is, you got a lion chasing you, and your mind is you want to run. You telling your body to run, but your legs ain't moving. You're done. You're done. If the body don't work together, you're done. I'm talking about your body. If your body don't function in cohesion, then you're done. You know, they call them brain dead. You ever saw somebody who brain don't work when the signals is not when the signals from the brain is not sending to whatever part of the body to make it move? You become paralyzed, immobile. You know? It says selfless is an adjective, having no regard to self, devoted to others' welfare or interest and not one's own. Selflessness, selflessly. Okay? And we see the examples in the scriptures. I'm gonna read some examples in the scriptures. But see, what's it gonna take is for all hell to break loose, for brothers to realize that the shit that we got, it was given to us for the brothers. The shit that we got, it was given to us to sustain one another, because we all we got. These people in this world, they will turn your woman, your children, your mother, your father. The scriptures say some of them are gonna turn their back on us at the drop of a dime. At the drop of a dime, when the pressure get hot, when this man finally come down on us with that great wrath, when our faces is on the news, when we on the FBI watch list, when there's a bounty for our capture, when we on the T list, the terrorist list. Some of these people are gonna drop us at the drop of a dime, and all we gonna have is each other. But see, all we have is each other now. But do you see it that way? And of course, the next man is not your responsibility to feed him and clothe him and put a roof over his head. You know, that's not your responsibility. But at the same time, if a man is falling short and you could pick up the slack and you're not going to, then what are you doing? What are you doing? Where's your charity? Where's your faith? You know, it shows a lack of faith. I'm not saying that you have no faith, but it shows that you lack some capacity of faith when you're not willing to do certain things, man. And for brothers that's in the truth, and for brothers that's, you know, brothers know what I'm talking about, man. Okay? You put too much stock in the shit that you got as if it can't be taken away tomorrow. And then you're gonna be like, well, damn, I should have let the brother use it. Well, I should have let the brother do this. Because the Lord ended up taking it away anyway. Yeah. And we done seen that happen before. It says in Matthew chapter 25 and verse 35, for I was an hungered and ye gave me meat. I was thirsty and ye gave me drink. I was a stranger and ye took me in. Naked and ye clothed me. And that's a part of our culture too. When you read different manners and customs books, there's one called Manners and Customs of Bible Lands. Okay, I forget the author. I believe the author is White or Wright, last name Wright. But it's a part of our culture to give. It's a part of our culture to be selfless. That's why how Shah said, if you have a case at law, or you sue a man at law, and he take that coat, give him your cloak also. We would give people the clothes off of our back with no hesitation. You know, a man asks you to go 1 mile with him, go 2, meaning go there and come back with him. Naked and ye clothed me, I was sick and ye visited me. I was in prison and ye came unto me. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee and hungered and fed thee, or thirsty and gave thee drink? Or when saw we thee sick, or in prison and came unto thee? And the king shall answer and say unto them, verily I say unto you, insomuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me. We can't forget who we're serving, which is Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, and who the brotherhood represents, which is Yahweh Shai. Each brother is a piece of Yahweh Shai. Each member of the body is a piece of Yahweh Shai. And so, if you've done it unto his least his brethren, you have done it unto him. If ye have denied it from one of his least of his brethren, ye have denied it unto him. And granted, we're not going to be able to rise to the occasion every time, but we should strive to. We shouldn't make up a million excuses, especially excuses that involve putting your family or your children or, BS before the brotherhood, man. Because you could just, me personally, you could keep it to yourself. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Just keep it to yourself. Okay? I'd rather you just not say anything than to make up some lame excuse, about why you got to put the brothers on the back burner for some worldly shit, or for some shit that you could postpone to next week, or the next day, or the next hour. Sacrifice, zabak, in the Hebrew, sacrifice, zabak. And when you sacrifice something, you can't sacrifice any old thing unto the Lord. You got to sacrifice something of value, something without blemish, something that's worth something to you, something that means something, not some, you sacrificing, BS that you wouldn't use anyway. You wouldn't use it anyway, so here, I'm going to give it to a brother. No, you're supposed to sacrifice something of value. Your time is valuable. You're supposed to sacrifice that. And so, all this materialistic, and we in the flesh, man, so I know how it is. But again, I done been there. I done had substance before. I done had to sell everything in my apartment and, been down to my bed and my table. And I kept my table so I could watch the apostles' videos and study on it. Otherwise, I would have sold that too. And I did all that because I wasn't going back to my mama's house. I told myself, Lord willing, once I leave my parents' house, I'm never going back to my mom's house. And I haven't, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay? Remember, the Lord will bless men for other men's sake. Look at Joseph when he went into Egypt. It tells you time and time again when you read the history of our forefather Joseph, it tells you how the Lord blessed him for Pharaoh's sake. It shows you how the Lord blessed Potiphar's house for Joseph's sake. How the Lord blessed Pharaoh's house for Joseph's sake. And then Joseph declared unto his brethren that the Lord sent him into prison and brought him through all those afflictions to preserve life. And that's why we got the things that we got, to preserve each other's life. And I'm going to prove it, because it's going to come a time again where we're going to have all things common. And if you're not going to be in that mindset, like Ananias and Sapphira, who dropped dead because they were kept back the price of the field, okay, because they didn't want to have all things common. They was too stuck on their materialistic BS. Okay? Let me get a precept, man. This is Colossians chapter 3, verse 1. Set your affections on things above, not on things on the earth. Actually, that's verse 2. Let me read the whole, let me get the full chapter. Colossians 3. Come on, man. Bear with me. Colossians 3, verse 1. It says, if ye then be risen in Hamashiach, seek those things which are above, where Hamashiach sitteth on the right hand of the Most High. Set your affections on things above, not on things on the earth. Forget about this stuff that's on the earth, man. It's all temporal. We know what the scriptures say, but sometimes the flesh get real. You know, sometimes the flesh make you forget what the scriptures say, or make you move like you forget what the scriptures say, or make you react like you forget what the scriptures say. But the scriptures still say what they say. The whatever you got, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. Okay? Just as quick as you got it, you could lose it. Just as functional as it is now, it could be dysfunctional tomorrow. Again, when we spoiled the heathen, the shit that we took, a lot of the shit we dedicated it unto the Lord, man. When we took it from the heathen, after we took it from the heathen, we dedicated it unto the Lord, not to ourselves for our own purpose. So I'm gonna get a couple precepts. This is Acts 2 verse 44. Acts 2 verse 42. And they continue steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine and fellowship. And the apostles have given us a good example of what it means to be selfless. Okay? They tell us the stories all the time. The Apostle Gabar always talk about how him and Apostle Rakai lived together, homeless together, share meals together. Come on, man. What is we doing? When we reduced to nothing, when we reduced to the clothes on our back, like I said, because the system is gonna come down on us, man. Is that what it's gonna take for brothers to realize that we all we got? Is that what it's gonna take for brothers to realize none of this shit really matter? It's all an illusion. It's all an illusion. Eternity is at the door. Eternity is not here. Everything you got now is temporal. It says in Acts 2 and 43, and fear came upon every soul, and many wonders and signs were done by the apostles. And all that believed were together and had all things common. Meaning what? Whatever I got is yours. Mi casa, su casa. You know? Whatever I got, you got. All things common. Oh no, this ain't mine, brother. It's ours. You need to borrow my lawnmower. You need to borrow my, clippers, whatever, man. Well, you need to borrow my car. You need to borrow you need to borrow my time. You need a ride, whatever it may be. Now, some brothers will give you a ride, but if you're going too far, oh no, I can't give you a ride. Come on, man. If you're going for 30 minutes, I don't know. I only got 15-minute rides. 15-minute rides. You going out of town? Oh, I don't know. We gotta learn to be more selfless. Speaking to myself first and foremost. You know, But I don't care about none of this shit, man. I don't care about none of this shit, man. Okay? Because the Lord will replace it and give you something better. But that's faith, though. That's faith, though. You gotta have that. You gotta have that mindset of faith in all things. It says here in Acts 2:45, and sold their possessions and goods and parted them to all men, as every man had need. So they sold their possessions, sold whatever they had, oxen, asses, garments, vessels, and then they took the money and they distributed it evenly amongst each other. How many brothers would be willing to do that if it was time for that? Huh? Or would your woman get in the way? Or would your family get in the way? This truth is gonna get real, man. Okay? And our faith is gonna be tested. Our integrity, our courage is gonna be tested. Our love is gonna be tested. Okay? Yahweh Shai is proving us. The scriptures say, if thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first. Yahweh Shai is gonna prove us. To prove, is he really a man of the Lord? Is he really down the way he say he down? Is he really willing to go the extra mile? Greater love have no man than this, that he laid down his life for his friend. Will he really lay down his life for his brother, the one that's on the line next to him? Would he really do it? Or is he just saying it because we in the green tree? All of our faith is going to be tested. All of like I said, all of our love is going to be tested. I'll get one more. This is Acts 4, verse 32. And the multitude of them, it says, and the multitude of them that believed were of one heart and of one soul. Neither said any of them that ought the things that he possessed, that ought the things which he possessed was his own, but they had all things common. This ain't mine, it's ours. They had all things common. And then somebody gonna jump up and say, well, that was because there was a famine in the land, brother. Let me see. Is this when there was a famine, it was a dearth in the land? Let me see. This might not even be when there was a famine. Because I know there was one account where there was a dearth. Okay, see, this not even this. It wasn't nothing going on here, but the spirit of the Lord. But this is the spirit that they was in. They had all things common, preferring one another. Okay, that's what it means to be selfless. Remember the word selfless. It means to disregard your own interests or welfare, and to be more concerned about others' welfare. It says having no regard to self, devoted to others' welfare or interests, not one's own self. Right? Yahweh Shai said to deny yourself. You gotta deny your flesh, because your flesh is gonna tell you no. That belong to you, brother. You paid, you worked all them hours so you could buy it, you know. Or do you actually think that brother would know how to do this, and this? Or do you actually think, you know, well, if you skip out on that time at work, do you actually think that you're gonna be able to make the money back? This is what Satan gonna tell you to try to deter you from doing what the body need to be done. Just like your flesh will tell you, you want to eat them sweets, you want to eat them flaming hots, or them Twinkies, or them cake, or the donuts, when you know you need the asparagus and the Brussels sprouts and the vegetables. But what do your flesh do? What does Satan do? He try to get you to eat. You know, if it was up to our flesh, we would eat shit that tastes good only. We wouldn't eat the bitter. But you know that the body needs the bitter. Likewise, in this truth, you need the hard times. You need the things that's gonna you know, yeah, you might worry. You know, you need those things, man. You need the bitter is what I'm trying to say. I can't think of the words, but you need the bitter. You don't just need the sweet, you need the bitter too. It says here in the book of Matthew chapter 10, Matthew chapter 16, actually, verse 24. Then said Yahushua unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. You're supposed to deny yourself, your own interests, because it's no longer about you. Now it's about the body. Apostle Paul said it best. He said, I do all things for the elect's sake. Let all things be done unto edification, fellowship. It says Matthew 24. No, Salaki. 2 Timothy 2 verse 10. Therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake, that they may also obtain the salvation which is in Hamashiach Yahushua with eternal glory. So we're not supposed to have such an attachment to our earthly possessions. Okay? Set your affections let your treasure be in heaven. Hold on, let me get that one before I mess it all up. Matthew 6. Matthew 6 and verse 19. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. Right, brothers got nice. Some brothers got I remember a couple years ago the brothers got their cars broken into, man. You know? And I believe at the time the brother had just got his whip, or recently got his whip like maybe a year or two ago, but it was still looking nice. And a thief broke through and stole brothers' books, stole brothers' book bags, thinking that it was something valuable, and the whole time it was just notes. Them niggas who stole that shit probably dead by now. The Lord probably brought judgment upon them for that shit. Cause brothers had years and years of notes, man. Okay, but brothers value their cars. But you see, a thief could come through, break in your car. A thief could come through, break in your house. A thief could come through and break in any of your possessions. But they can't break this knowledge. They can't break into your mind and take that knowledge out your mind. But the Lord can. If you don't do right with it, if you don't apply it, the Lord could break into your mind and take the knowledge and blow out your candlestick, as it says in Revelation, the 3rd chapter. If you don't remember your first love, your first that zeal, it says Matthew 6 and 19, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. Again, remember Matthew the 25th chapter. That's how you put money into your spiritual bank account. Sacrifice, charity, loving the brotherhood, feeding the lambs of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, feeding the sheep. This is how you make your sacrifice to the Lord. You know? This is how you build up your spiritual bank account and lay up treasures in heaven. Okay? Having a good report. You know? You want to be known as a charitable brother. You want to be known as a brother who would get a shirt off of his back, who would stop at the drop of a hat to do whatever the body need to be done. Hey, you at work and the daycare call you, oh man, Mr. blah blah blah, your son, he fell and bumped his head. Oh, okay, I'm about to leave work right now. I'm on my way. But if a brother fall into a ditch, if a brother's on the side of the road, or if a brother needs something, you slow to move. You slow feet. But you swift if it's your woman or your children's emergency, so-called emergency. You out there, you out of there like Flash. You know? But when it's a brother or when it's the brotherhood, where's Jake at? Where's Jake at? Slow replies. But if I say something about the Cavs, or if I say something about the Browns, a million, 5, 10, 12 brothers reply. Come on, man. And I'm obviously I'm exaggerating. Obviously I'm exaggerating. But I'm drawing an example. Okay? I'm drawing an example to show that look, we gotta re-examine our focus. You know, we gotta realize what really matter, man. Set our affections on things above, not on things on the earth. like I said, the materialistic, the you know, this mindset of you know, you so wrapped up in what you got and your possessions that you're not even willing to sacrifice it for the use of the body. That's off, man. I don't care which way you slice it, man. Okay, and if I'm going off, then I'll stand corrected. But if you ask me, that's going off, man. This is Acts chapter 5. It's Acts chapter 5, verse 1. It said, but a certain man named Ananias and Sapphira, his wife, sold a possession and kept back part of the price. His wife also being privy to it, and brought a certain part and laid it at the apostles' feet. So here it is. Everybody had all things common, as we read in the previous chapter. No man counted the things that he had as his own, but they had all things common. But you had Ananias and Sapphira. They sold their possessions, but they wanted to keep back part of the money. They didn't want to be honest about how much they sold their possessions for, how much they had in their possessions, because they had it in their mind that they was going to save a little bit for themselves. They wasn't going to use it for the body. They was going to use it for themselves. Acts 5 and 2, and kept back part of the price, his wife also being privy to it, and brought a certain part and laid it at the apostles' feet. And Peter said, Ananias, why have Satan filled thine heart to lie to the Holy Spirit and to keep back part of the price of the land? Whilst it remains, was it not thine own? Right, while you had it, it was yours. And after it was sold, was it not in thine own power? You had the power to do right with it, or you had the power to be selfish. You had the power to be selfless or to be selfish. They did. It says, and to keep back part of the price of the land. So like in verse 4, whilst it remained, was it not thine own? And after it was sold, was it not in thine own power? Why hast thou conceived this thing in thine heart? Thou hast not lied unto men, but unto the Most High. And Ananias, hearing these words, fell down and gave up the ghost. And great fear came on all them that heard these things. Because this is a serious thing when the body needs you, and you may be the only member of that body that can provide what is needed. Okay? There's certain parts of the body that they only do that function. No other part does the function. You only have one liver. You only got one kidney. You got two eyes, but you only have eyes. Only the eyes can see. Only the ears can hear. Only the nose can smell. Only the thumb can do what the thumb do. If you don't have a thumb, your hand is you screwed, man. If you don't have a pinky toe, your balance is gone. There's certain parts of the body that only that part of the body can do. That may be your gift. That may be your talent. That may be your function. And if you neglect that, then that's on you. Because the Lord gave you that so that you would be needful. So that you won't say, well, brothers don't need me. I don't feel like I fit in. It says here in Acts chapter 5 and verse 6, and the young men arose and wound him up and carried him out and buried him. And it was about the space of 3 hours when his wife, not knowing what was done, came in. And Peter answered unto her, tell me whether ye sold the land for so much. And she said, yeah, for so much. Then Peter said unto her, how is it that ye have agreed together to tempt the Spirit of the Lord? Behold, the feet of them which have buried thy husband are at the door, and shall carry thee out. Then fell she down straightway at his feet, and yielded up the ghost. And the young men came in, and found her dead, and carrying her forth, buried her by her husband. And great fear came upon all the church, and upon as many as heard these things, man. So the selflessness has to be there. If it's not there, you're not going to make it to the end. Matthew 6 and 21. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. If you treasure these worldly possessions, that's where your mind is going to be. If you treasure your job, that's where all your devoted time is going to be. If you think your family or your woman or your job or your status is going to get you on a chariot, That's where your attention and your focus is going to be. And we're going to see where that'll get you. Okay? I'm going to jump to verse 25. Therefore I say unto you, take no thought therefore for your life, what ye shall eat or drink, or what, nor yet for your body, what ye shall put on. Is not the life more than meat, and the body raiment? Come on, man. Where's the faith? Yahweh said, don't take no thought for your life. Don't take no thought for your life. Seek ye the kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Or don't, and they will be subtracted. Hey, even if you serving the Lord, he gonna take stuff away. This is the power that we serve. It said, behold, the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns. You know, you never seen a barn that was ran by birds. You never seen a storehouse or a Walmart that was ran by animals. But yet the Lord feed them every single day. It said, behold, the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns. Yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they? Which of you, by taking thought, can add 1 cubit unto his stature? And why take ye thought for raiment? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They toil not, neither do they spin. And yet I say unto you that even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. Wherefore, if the heavenly Father so clothe the grass of the field, which today is, and tomorrow is cast into the oven, shall not he much more clothe you, O ye of little faith? The Lord's going to provide for us, man. Okay? Therefore, we ought to provide for one another. Okay? Lord willing, this is edifying, just a quick kid. Calling y'all Shalom.